What's up, YouTube? My name is Bigboysnacksjonnytv. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And tonight I go with my AEW Dynamite review and highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video before you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel because I'm pushing towards 7K and become a YouTube partner for the very first time. Follow my social media down below in the description and go check out my WWE NXT review and highlights that I posted on the channel yesterday because it was a good show yesterday. Make sure you guys watch that video and share it out with your friends and family. All right, let's get to this AEW Dynamite review and highlights. Now, AEW Dynamite was a terrible and horrendous show, and I give it a 2.1 out of 10. All right, AEW Dynamite was live from Pennsylvania Standard Arena. All right, it says we open with the November Rain music video hyping the build to this Saturday's Full Gear pay-per-view. I wasn't hyped tonight before going into AEW Full Gear. This show was terrible and horrendous at the same time. But anyway, let me continue. The chaos just begun as AEW tears through the November rain and rises into Full Gear this Saturday night. AEW Full Gear is live on pay-per-view on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. All right, that's all I gotta say. From there, we go to ringside where the first team makes their way to the ring for our opening match of the night. Ricochet, Powerhouse Hobbs, are out first, followed by Will Ospreay and Mark Davis for this All-Star 8-man tag team affair. Out next are the Don Callis family as they step to the stage to booze, but the good guys make their way out to fight with the Monster Army ahead of this match getting underway. All right, so we get an all-star 8-man tag team match: Will Ospreay, Ricochet, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Mark Davis versus Kanushka Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, and Brian Cage. And in this match right here, this was a fun tag team match. This was fun for what it was. All right. It says we start off after Mark Davis and Kanushka Takeshita get into the ring, trading strikes before a tag is made to Ricochet, but it doesn't take long for chaos to ensure between all 8 men once again. Don Callis' men go after the quarter at ringside until the recent tag Lance Archer brings Ricochet back into the ring, looking for a chokeslam until Ricochet escapes. Will Ospreay takes the ropes to cut off the Murder Hawk monster, but to no avail as he is sent out of the ring by Lance Archer, who then sends Ricochet flying to the outside as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. The family maintains control as they isolated Ricochet in the corner, making a tag to Brian Cage to keep him at bay. Kanushka Takeshita tags in to go after his future challenger as we come back from break. We get a look back at Powerhouse Hobbs being taken out of the match after being sent into the steel steps as Ricochet takes the fight back to the international champion. He sends Kanushka Takeshita to the mat before tagging in Will Ospreay, with Kyle Fletcher tagging in to get his hands on the man he faces at Full Gear. They trade strikes before Will Ospreay hits the ropes to get one over on his former United Empire teammate, leading to a blind tag from Kanushka Takeshita. Will Ospreay and Mark Davis double team the champion for a near fall, but Lance Archer and Brian Cage rush in to get the edge on Will Ospreay. They launch him into the Blue Thunder Bomb from Kanushka Takeshita for the cover, but Will Ospreay managed to kick out. This leads to Kyle Fletcher tagging back in for revenge, sending him to the corner before stumping away. We see Powerhouse Hobbs hobbling back down the ramp as Mark Davis is sent off the apron. Will Ospreay is kept away from a tag by Kanushka Takeshita, but not for long as Powerhouse Hobbs gets into the fray. Brian Cage and Lance Archer try to intervene with a double suplex, only to be sent down to the canvas by Powerhouse Hobbs, who ends up sending all 4 men to the corner, each corner. Um, Lance Archer is the first up to his feet, however, going after the Powerhouse Hobbs until Mark Davis makes the tag. The family continues to get involved until Kyle Fletcher makes a tag, confronting his former Aussie Open teammate Mark Davis as he shoves him away. Kanushka Takeshita gets the drop on Mark Davis, but his but is feigned off by Powerhouse Hobbs before Will Ospreay takes Kanushka Takeshita down. He turns his attention to Kyle Fletcher, telling him to come back in, and Kyle Fletcher obliges, trading strikes with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay gets the advantage in the end, setting up for the hidden blade, but Kyle Fletcher managed to evade, forcing Will Ospreay to take out Mark Davis instead. The fight spills to the outside as Will Ospreay hits a toe on Brian Cage and Kyle Fletcher, but back in the ring, Kanushka Takeshita drops Mark Davis with a power knee for the win. The winner of the match, Kanushka Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, and Brian Cage. This was a fun All-Star 8-man tag team match. This was fun. We cut to a big vignette from the Death Riders as John Moxley says he doesn't care what kind of person Orange Cassidy is before promising to take him out at full gear. He shifts gear to the match between Darby Allin and Claudio Castagnoli as Claudio Castagnoli shouts and Swiss about what is to come tonight. We then get a promo elsewhere from Darby Allin promising to take Claudio Castagnoli down before a video package for the remaining dates in the November 2 Remind Tour brings us to a commercial break. Fun, chaotic opening match to kick things off tonight. Good story here with the status of Powerhouse House being in question at one point, and a good win for the Don Callis family ahead of AEW for Gear #AEW Dynamite. So we go to commercial break. We cut to the parking lot as Renee Paquette talks to the her syndicate, leading to an announcement from MVP that Bobby Lashley will be in action tonight. But before we get any further details, we see the Almighty One blindsided by Swerve Strickland. The former champ makes his mark before we cut away. Back at ringside, Adam Cole makes his way to the ring to a big pop from the crowd as we are reminded that he will not be facing MJF at AEW for Gear, but Roger Strong is as he earned his 3 victories inside the ring. Adam Cole says his story time as he addresses his friend Roger Strong, earning the win needs to face MJF. As he says the two have the same goal of beating MJF, and that's what he promised Roger Strong will do at AEW 4 Gear. Kyle Riley music hits and he makes his way out to the ring, a mic in hand as he addresses the history he and Adam Cole share. This history makes him the only man who can tell Adam Cole the truth. That is courtesy against MJF needs to end. He talks about Roger Strong barely managed to make it out alive last week and wants to end MJF at full gear, but but at what cost? With a question mark. Adam Cole asks if Kyle Riley doesn't want to see MJF stop, but Kyle Riley says that he knows what happens when people play with fire; they get burned. He ends by saying MJF is more evil than Adam Cole, which he considers a good thing before dropping the mic and leaving the ring. Adam Cole is confused by the statement as we cut away. That was a pretty good promo by Adam Cole and Kyle Riley. Alright, let's move on. Backstage, Orange Cassidy addresses Wheeler Yuta, promising he will beat him in that ring all on his own. The rest of the conglomeration come in to intervene, offering to have his back, but Orange Cassidy asks them strongly to keep away from the match tonight and at AEW Full Gear. Back at ringside, Chris Stanlander makes her way down the ramp for our next match. Hikaru Shida makes her way to the ring next, and this match gets underway. So we get Chris Stanlander versus Hikaru Shida. And this match right here, this was a good match. That's all I gotta say. This was a good match. The women circled the mat before locking up, with Chris Stanlander getting the upper hand at first. A second lockup attempt leads to Chris Stanlander finding out of a race slide to take Hikaru Shida to the mat, only for the former women's world champion to send Chris Stanlander to the corner. She mounts up with some punches before Chris Statlander sends her to the canvas for a near fall. Hikaru Shida takes the fight back to Chris Statlander now, bringing her to the corner for a straight jacket hold before sending her into the mat. She rolls out of the ring, setting Chris Statlander up on the apron for a running knee that sends her to the floor as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Hikaru Shida continues to control the pace of the match on the outside, bringing Chris Statlander back into the ring to get a near fall before transitioning to a chinlock that keeps Chris Statlander on the mat, only for Chris Statlander to fight to her feet, dropping Hikaru Shida with a back suplex before getting a near fall off a roll up. Both women are on their feet as Hikaru Shida hits a big forearm strike followed by an enziguri that leaves them both on the mat. Chris Statlander slowly gets back up, only to take back strikes from Hikaru Shida as we come back from break. Chris Statlander hits the ropes, dodging an attack from Hikaru Shida to take her down to the mat. She needs Hikaru Shida to the corner, hitting an inside hook that takes her to the canvas once again for a near fall. Hikaru Shida fights out of her grasp after with both women are going at it until Chris Statlander goes for a lariat, only for Hikaru Shida to counter with a couple lariats of her own. Hikaru Shida goes for a katana, but Chris Statlander fends her off, only for Hikaru Shida to take the fight back to her for a Falconero in the cover, but Chris Statlander managed to kick out both women back to their feet as Chris Statlander gets dropped with a boot by Hikaru Shida, who follows up with a release German suplex on the former TBS champion, who counters another katana attempt, hitting a Wednesday night forever for the win. The winner of the match by pinfall, Chris Statlander. This was a good match between Hikaru Shida and Chris Statlander. This match was good. Chris Statlander offers a handshake. Chris Statlander offers a hand to Hikaru Shida to follow the match, but is interrupted by the arrival of Mercedes Moné as the TBS champion and Camille step out onto the stage. Mercedes Moné tells Reading to say hello to their CEO before running down the Sixers and hyping up her Celtics. She talks about Chris Statlander before giving the fans another fun fact, pointing out she held the TBS championship longer than Chris Statlander before promising she will never lose the title as the Reading crowd let her know what they think of her. This rallies up the champ, who tells Camille to go after Chris Statlander and finish the job, but Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida manage to send the brick house out of the ring. Mercedes Moné tries to blindside her challenger, but is dropped with a Wednesday night forever by Chris Statlander, who stands tall over the TBS champion with the title in hand. Alright, all I gotta say is, I know that Camille is gonna be out of nowhere turning on Mercedes Moné at AEW Full Gear, but it could happen at AEW Full Gear that Camille is going to turn on Mercedes Moné and could be a babyface. We never know. We just gotta wait and see at AEW Full Gear. All right, let me continue. Good match between Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida. Can't really say much to the post-match stuff between Chris Statlander and Mercedes Moné because, in all honesty, I'm kind of over Mercedes Moné's style of promoting. Still looking forward to that match though. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Backstage, MVP and Shelton Benjamin tried to sneak attack Sora Strickland, only to find out that he handed his code to someone else who takes a cane to the midsection instead. We get a graphic that Bobby Lashley will be in action next as we go to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. Back at ringside, Bobby Lashley makes his way to the ring for our next match. He makes his AEW in-ring debut against Joe Keys and Cheeseburger as the bell rings to get this match on the way. So we get a 2-on-1 handicap match. Bobby Lashley versus Joe Keys and Cheeseburger. And this was a squash match. Both men are easily thrown around by Bobby Lashley at the start with what's his name? Joe Keys Was it both men are easily thrown around by Bobby Lashley at the start, with Joe Keys being sent out of the ring before Bobby Lashley turns his attention to Cheeseburger. He takes the Ring of Honor's standout down hard for a near fall, but Joe Keys breaks the pin to a big pop from the crowd. This doesn't sit well with Bobby Lashley, who drops Cheeseburger before taking Joe Keys out with a spear. This is followed by Bobby Lashley clinching in the Hurt Lock on Joe Keys, who is out almost immediately as the ref calls for the bell. The winner by submission, Bobby Lashley. This was a squash match. The celebration is cut short as Swerve Strickland music hits, forcing the Hurt Syndicate to track him down, only for Swerve Strickland to come out from under the ring, getting the jump on Bobby Lashley with the chain. MVP and Shelton Benjamin rushed into the ring, but Swerve Strickland evades them before making his exit through the crowd. Alright, I'm looking forward to Swerve Strickland and Bobby Lashley at AEW Full Gear. That's all I gotta say. We cut backstage where Mariah May and Mina Shakawa are ready to team up together on Rampage ahead of Mariah May finally getting her championship celebration at AEW Full Gear. She talks about being the top of the division, and and Mina Sakura promised a celebration she never forget as we cut away. I think that Sakura will turn on Mariah May sometime, maybe sometime soon, but I don't know. That's just my prediction, but I could be wrong. But anyway, let me continue. Back at ringside, Darby Allin makes his way to the ring for our next match. Out next is Claudio Castagnoli through the crowd, and this match is underway. All right, so we get Darby Allin versus Claudio Castagnoli. And this was a good match right here. This was the only match that I enjoyed tonight throughout the entire card. This was the best match throughout the entire show. Darby Allin gets back to his feet before both men circle the mat. With Darby Allin getting out of Claudio Castagnoli grabs to take him down before Claudio Castagnoli leaves the ring for a breather. Darby Allin awaits the Swiss man return to the ring, where he catches Claudio Castagnoli off guard for a near fall. Claudio Castagnoli leaves the ring again, but this this is met with a coffin drop by Darby Allin, only to catch the former TNT champion in midair, sending him to the barricade for an uppercut, sending Darby Allin into the crowd. Claudio Castagnoli enters the ring as Darby Allin struggles to his feet, only for Claudio Castagnoli to intercept him for a delayed vertical suplex, bringing him back into the ring before dumping him to the canvas. Claudio Castagnoli stands tall over Darby Allin as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Claudio Castagnoli maintains control as he lays into Darby Allin with some strikes, forcing him out of the ring before the ref intervenes. Darby Allin gets back on the apron, but is cut off by Claudio Castagnoli, who starts twisting at his head to keep the pain on Darby Allin. Darby Allin fights to his feet before sending Claudio Castagnoli to the corner for some right hands, but is sent to the outside by Claudio Castagnoli instead. Darby Allin gets back into the ring, but is kept on the mat by Claudio Castagnoli, who goes to work on his shoulder before Darby Allin tries fighting back. I'm sorry. This is met with a resistance as Claudio Castagnoli is back on his shoulders as we come back from break. Darby Allin to his feet, only to be sent flying into the corner and to the outside by Claudio Castagnoli. Claudio Castagnoli leaves the ring, slamming Darby Allin into the barricade before bringing him back into the ring. Darby Allin gets to the apron, cutting him off before hitting a pair of dives that forces the World Trios Champion into the barricade. He brings Claudio Castagnoli back into the ring for a coffin drop, but Claudio Castagnoli cuts him off at the turnbuckles before setting up a gut wrench suplex from the top cover by Claudio Castagnoli, but Darby Allin managed to kick out. Claudio Castagnoli looks ready for a giant swing, but on Darby Allin, who catches him with a clutch for a near fall instead before the two lock up, leading to leading to a cold red by Darby Allin for another close two count. Claudio Castagnoli gets Darby Allin to the corner for some strides, forcing him down to the mat before Darby Allin grabs the ropes for leverage, only to be sent to the outside once more. But Claudio Castagnoli, Claudio Castagnoli leaves the ring, pulling Darby Allin before hitting a giant swing that sends him into the steel steps. That and then sends him flying over the announcer table. Claudio Castagnoli continues to attack as he sets Darby Allin up on the announcer table, hoisting him up over his shoulders before launching him through a table off the side off the side. The table refused to give, and only can and one can only hope that Darby Allin's spirit is in relentless as the ref checks on him. Claudio Castagnoli heads back to the ring, and the ref eventually returning as well to begin the count. But Darby Allin gets back into the ring at 8. Claudio Castagnoli gets the jump on him with the lariat, however, finally putting Darby Allin away for the victory. The winner by pinfall, Claudio Castagnoli. This was a good match throughout the entire show. All right, backstage, Renee Paquette talks to Private Party about the upcoming Fatal 4-Way tag match at AEW Full Gear. Before we get our first appearance of the night from the Costco guy, just Big Justice talks to Zay about the face he made before AJ talks about his big announcement up next. Before we get to that, however, we cut to MJF pulling up elsewhere before addressing Roger Strong ahead of their match at AEW Full Gear. He talks about what Roger Strong is willing to do for his friend Adam Cole, running Adam Cole down as we get a look back at Roger Strong's path to facing MJF this Saturday. MJF promised to send Roger Strong back where he belongs in physical anguish. Anguish. With that statement, we go to commercial. That was a good promo by MJF. I enjoyed that promo by MJF. Like that Claudio Castagnoli / Darby Allin match, some really good stuff, including that big spot of Claudio Castagnoli sending Darby Allin flying onto the table before picking up the win. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. The situation with Adam Cole, MJF, and Roger Strong has been interesting, but I can't help but wonder what trick MJF has up his sleeve at AEW Full Gear. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. So we go to commercial break. Backstage, we hear from Big Justice and Big Boom AJ ahead of his match against QT Marshall at AEW Full Gear 0 Hour. AJ talks about the importance of bringing the boom to AEW this Saturday before announcing that the Rizzler will be the one ringing the bell for their match. That match is gonna be terrible at AEW Full Gear. With that, we cut to ringside where Tony Schiavone welcomes Roger Strong. Roger Strong and the Undisputed Kingdom come out to address MJF's comments leading up to their match at AEW Full Gear, with Roger Strong calling out MJF's privilege before saying he earns everything he has. Roger Strong wants MJF to look in the mirror and thinking about everything he's done, and realize that at AEW Full Gear he will pay for all those sins. Where it's all over, Roger Stone says he will earn the best night of sleep in his night, and that he will break MJF's back and leaves him humble. We get a video package highlighting the feud between Jack Perry and Daniel Garcia before Daddy Magic reveals the rest of the footage from Saturday night. We go to Menard and Daniel Garcia confronting Jack Perry off in some undisclosed location, where Daniel Garcia is confronted with what he becomes thanks to the scapegoat Jack Perry. Jack Perry starts talking about sacrifice before Daniel Garcia cuts him off promising he will never go to the place Jack Perry wants him to go. Daniel Garcia has something else for the TNT champion, however, taking a crowbar to the skate mobile to send a message to Jack Perry, who just laughs, asking if that is that is that's it. As Daniel Garcia and Menard make their exit, we cut backstage where Renee Paquette is sitting with Chris Jericho and Tomohiro Ashi for their contract signing ahead of their Ring of Honor World Championship match. Chris Jericho talks about needing to get the contract look over by his legal egos before leaving the room, only for Tomohiro Ashi to stalk him down the hallway as Chris Jericho tries to make his escape. Chris Jericho tries throwing hurdles in the way of the Stone Pitbull, including virus staff as the pair makes their way up the stairs and into the crowd. Tomohiro Ashi continues to follow the learning tree's main man to ringside, with both men entering the ring as Chris Jericho calls for a microphone. Chris Jericho says he will sign this contract, but he doesn't have a pen. Only for the big Tomohiro Ashi to reveal a pen of his own, handing it over to Jericho. Jericho is very re you reluctantly reluctantly signs the contract just in time for his students to blindside the challenger. Big Bill and Brian Keith prop up Tomohiro Ashi for Chris Jericho to attack, but the conglomeration comes out to even the numbers game. The numbers. Big Bill tries to fend them off, but is forced to the outside while Mark Briscoe drops Brian Keith with a J driller before Tomohiro Ashi hits Jericho with a sheer drop brainbuster. He signs the contract standing tall over the Ring of Honor World Champion as he drops the contract besides him. That was a waste of a segment of that contract signed between Chris Jericho and Tomohiro Ashi. That was a waste of a segment. That segment was my first experience actually watching any of the Costco guys and listening above all else. I I'm just happy for AJ to get to live his dream. You know, that's all I got here. Sorry, LOL. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. But that backstage segment between Chris Jericho and Tomohiro Ashi, the contract signing, was just a waste of a segment. That segment wasted everybody's time. All right, let's move on. Meanwhile, despite my dislike of Jericho as of late, I cannot deny there has been some go with the learning tree gimmick, and tonight was a decent example of why. It got a good laugh out of Jericho trying to avoid signing the contract. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. The learning tree in Chris Jericho's gimmick is garbage. It's terrible. We all hate Chris Jericho's gimmick. We all hate the learning tree. That's all I gotta say. That's nothing but facts. And shout outs to Michael for saying that in his live stream. Cause I was just had this live stream. So Michael, if you're watching this video, shout outs to you, man. I had a good time in your live stream. Enough of that. Let me continue. Commercial break. Backstage, Jamie Hayter starts to address Julia Hart, interrupting her last week before another. Julia Hart vintage reveals that she is ready to come home. I am so excited. I am so happy that Julia Hart is getting more TV time, and that's all I gotta say. I'm excited about Julia Hart getting more TV time. All right, let me continue. Back at ringside, Orange Cassidy makes his way out for our main event. He enters the ring as Wheeler Yuta makes his way through the crowd next, keeping an eye on Orange Cassidy as he heads to the ring to get this match underway. So we get the main event of the evening. So we get Orange Cassidy versus Wheeler Yuta. This feels like an AEW Rampage match right here, and that's all I gotta say. Wheeler Yuta gets a running kick on Orange Cassidy to start things off, sending him to the corner to lay in some strikes. He sends Orange Cassidy across the ring, but Orange Cassidy fends him off for a near fall. Wheeler Yuta is quick to his feet, but Orange Cassidy keeps him off his game, leading to a standstill between them. The pair go back at it with Orange Cassidy getting a DDT block, but counters right into a Stone Dog Millionaire before forcing Wheeler Yuta out of the ring for a dive. Wheeler Yuta looks for a brainbuster on the outside, eventually taking Orange Cassidy to the barricade before laying in some hard kicks. Wheeler Yuta heads back to the ring, removing the middle turnbuckle pad as Orange Cassidy tries to fight back, only to be driven face first into the exposed turnbuckle by Wheeler Yuta. Orange Cassidy managed to finally fight back, but is just as quickly brought to the apron before Wheeler Yuta sends him into the hardest part of the ring with a DDT as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Wheeler Yuta stays on the attack as he brings Orange Cassidy back into the ring, but Orange Cassidy turns the tables on him with a superplex as we come back from break. The two get to their feet. The two get to their feet, trading strikes until Orange Cassidy takes Wheeler Yuta to the mat. He mounts up for some punches on Wheeler Yuta before getting back up, heading to the corner as he sets up for an Orange punch. But Wheeler Yuta cuts him off, sending Orange Cassidy to the corner before hitting a side slam. Wheeler Yuta backs to his feet for some hammer and a void elbow on Orange Cassidy, who fights to his feet, going after the hand of Wheeler Yuta. Soul food by Orange Cassidy is followed by a Machoku driver, but Wheeler Yuta kicks out at 2. Both men back up as Orange Cassidy takes to the ropes, but is cut off for the tombstone piledriver by Wheeler Yuta for a near fall. Wheeler Yuta lays in some hammer and a wall elbow on Orange Cassidy, transitioning to a cattle retaliation change in, but Orange Cassidy managed to get his foot on the rope to force a rope break. The referee intervenes, telling Wheeler Yuta to break the hold, leading to Wheeler Yuta shoving him away before leaving the ring for a steel chair. He gets back in, taking a wild swing at Orange Cassidy, who evades it, catching Wheeler Yuta by surprise for the pin to pick up the victory. The winner by pinfall, Orange Cassidy. This main event match feels just like AEW Rampage match. And that's all I gotta say. Wheeler Yuta gets to his feet as Orange Cassidy confronts him after the match, but the moment is interrupted by the arrival of the remaining Death Riders who go after Orange Cassidy. They put his hands in his pockets before wrapping him in duct tape, making him prone for an attack by the whole group, leading to a punch by John Moxley. They go back on the attack, taking a helpless Orange Cassidy to task before he tried to fight back, but to no avail as he gets dropped to the mat once more by John Moxley. Death Riders stand tall over Orange Cassidy before making their exit through the crowd, with the commemoration coming down to cut him free from the tape. Orange Cassidy finally makes it back to his feet, revealing a pair of sunglasses he put on his face before putting his hands in his pockets to defy John Moxley staring him down from the crowd as Dynamite comes to a close. Really like that main event, mostly as a fan of both Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta. For quite some time. Good win for Orange Cassidy through the post-match beatdown by the Death Riders, set to tone for what John Moxley looks to do to him at AEW 4 Gear to retain the world title at AEW 4 Gear. All I gotta say is that Orange Cassidy is not going to beat John Moxley at AEW 4 Gear because John Moxley is retaining the AEW World Championship at AEW 4 Gear. Watch I tell you, and I'm calling it straight down the middle. Alright, it says overall a solid ending edition of AEW Dynamite to get us geared up for AEW 4 Gear. Haha. Good matches, some nice story developments in the pay per view this Saturday feels like it will be the one to keep an eye on. and AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Alright, let me give my honest opinion what I think about AEW Dynamite. Like I stated earlier in the beginning of my video, now AEW Dynamite was a terrible and a horrendous show, and I give it a 2.1 out of 10. This doesn't give me hype for AEW Full Gear, and that's all I gotta say from here. But the only thing that I'm excited, the only thing that I'm hyped up is WWE War Games, and that's all I gotta say. I am hyped up for WWE War Games. That's just my opinion, and everybody else has the right to title their own opinion, just like I have the right to title my own opinion. Because AEW Dynamite was a terrible and horrendous show. I'm expecting after AEW Full Gear, give us a good AEW Dynamite Wednesday after AEW Full Gear pay per view. That's all I'm saying. All right, enough of that. I'm about to get up out of here. I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept you crew, kept you kids, kept you club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And I will make a YouTube short video. And that's all I gotta say. But if I don't have nothing to do tomorrow, I will be going live on YouTube just to play some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And that's all I gotta say. That's only if I don't have nothing to do tomorrow. If I don't have nothing to do tomorrow, I'll go live tomorrow just to play some Dragon Ball Sparking Zero because I played Fortnite last week. And I did a 4-hour stream on Fortnite last week, and then tomorrow, if I don't have nothing to do, I'll stream Dragon Ball Sparking Zero on YouTube tomorrow. And that's all I gotta say because I want to get some more clips, and that's all I gotta say. But anyway, I want you guys to have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang. And whoever comes to my world premiere in the comment in the chat will get a shout out from me. And that's all I gotta say. And I'll talk to you guys later. And I'm out of here. Gang. Too sweet. Gang.